Welcome to the beginner's Dayz guide. This is a quick and simple guide on how to survive your first 30 minutes playing the game. If you want to find out how to install the game, there's a link to a video in the description, as well as the map I use in this video. The very first thing you want to do is find out where you are, and that's shown on the bottom right hand of the screen. It goes away rather quickly, so definitely keep an eye out on it. I'd strongly suggest as well having a map loaded up in Google so that you can Alt-Tab and then kind of find where you are on the map, so you can actually work out where to go from there. If you like to play in first person view, just leave it as it is. If you prefer to play it as a third person, just press the enter button, this is the default keys, on the numpad, and then you'll jump into it. I've spawned on the southeast part of the map, and I know after looking at on Google, if I just head along the coast to the west, I will find a large city where I'll be able to hopefully find some loot, possibly a weapon, and then I can actually start surviving in the wilderness and fighting off some of the zombies if at all possible. The basic keys, I find the normal layout pretty simple. G is to check your gear, where you got your backpack. It's quite simple to look in it, fairly easy to put things in and out. And then you've got Z, which is a crouch, you're prone, X, crouch, and C to stand up straight. And then it's the normal WASD, moving to move about. Once you finally come across a town, as you can see in front of me, I followed the road and finally got to one. All you need to do now is be very careful, because this is where you're most likely going to bump into the zombies, as you can see some across the road there from me. So what you want to do is stay low, make sure the little eyeball on the side and the ears is as low as possible. Once you get even closer, you might want to consider actually dropping into prone, just to make sure they don't spot you. Approach slowly and keep an eye out. What you might want to do is, if you press Alt, you can actually move the camera freely to look around while still traveling in the same direction. Oh, there's someone in front, so we got to drop down and slowly sneak. You can get quite close to them, so as you can see you got no bars whatsoever, only a little bit when you're actually moving, so you really don't need to worry too much about that aspect of the game. You've got the various types of zombies as well. There's crawler ones, and then the normal walking ones. It's fairly obvious when they spot you. They make a noise and then start going crazy. So what I'll do is just quickly show you now how to actually not to do it. So you run in and you can grab, oh, well, I guess you can get closer than you expect. Here we go. One of them should spot me now. Maybe they think I'm an infected zombie as well. Hello? Oh, there we go. We finally got some attention. And then what you want to do is normally, at least the quickest way I've found, is to head straight into the forest. That way you can drop their line of sight incredibly easily, and then actually go into prone, and you'll be able to sort of reset the fight. See, here they come. I've got a fair few of them. Normally find a big fat tree, sort of a fir tree or something like that, and then you just run behind it and then drop down. And if all goes to plan, you should lose them. If not, you will definitely want to get up and start running as quickly as possible, because it doesn't take many hits at all for you to actually get in a lot of trouble. See, here we go. And I've managed to lose them all. If you do happen to get injured, as you can see, my character has the blood spewing out of them. All you need to do is just stop somewhere, open up your bags, click on the bandages, right click on them, and then click bandage myself, and then they'll get down to doing it, and you should see your blood counter stop dropping in the little debug monitor on the top right hand corner of your screen. If for any reason you weren't able to find out where you were once you actually first joined the game and you happen to run across a town, all you need to do is find the signs. Normally they have the name of the town quite clearly in there, sort of both leading into and out of the town. I won't even try to pronounce that, they're all in Russian, but you just look on most of the maps, have a quick check, and you'll be able to find where that is without any problem. Now that you've found some buildings, you'll want to actually make sure you search them thoroughly, find what you're looking for. You do need to keep an eye out on the bottom right hand of the screen. You've got your thirst meter, your food meter, and they're sort of the main things you'll be needed to get stocked up for when you head out on your journeys to sort of explore the entire map. The best way I've found to do it is taking it nice and slow, just creeping around each of the buildings, looking for any openings, any doors, and then making sure you keep out of sight of the zombies as well. If you happen to get aggro when you're in the town, all you need to do is quite simply just run out line of sight and drop down. And normally that should do the trick. They're pretty stupid actually, and you probably will get out of there quite safely. Yeah, see, he doesn't know where I am at all, so you don't necessarily have to always run to the forest, but it certainly is probably the safest to do so, because you could quite easily aggro more if you do run around. One thing you might want to be very careful of is if you're proning around everywhere and you go through some doorways, occasionally they will actually make you stand up without actually pressing anything, and that can be disastrous when you're trying to sneak through somewhere with an awful lot of zombies. So be incredibly careful when you're going through there. You may want to even sort of crouch just before you enter most buildings just to be on the safe side, because that way you'll stay quiet, but it will help you sort of avoid that evil zombie that's sort of lurking right around the corner, which there always is. Time to time you will find a house that you can enter. Just walk in, crouch nice and slowly, just so you don't make lots of noise. You find normally a few things. Got a camping tent here, and then a couple of other nice handy things that will definitely be useful a little later on. Let's see. We got some gear here, we got some mags, some bullets. I don't have a gun at the moment, so none of that's overly useful, but eventually we'll definitely make use of that. The main thing you are looking for, obviously, in the end of the day, is a gun, so you can shoot some of those pesky zombies. Here I found what's possibly one of the better guns out there, the Winchester, and it really is amazing. It's nice and quiet and can take out the zombies with very little difficulty indeed. Let's go outside and show you how it's done. Okay, all you've got to do is once you find a zombie, just line him up and then blow his head off, and then they go down quite easily. So I've got a bit of a problem with the shakes, it seems, at the moment. So what you might want to do is, if you ever come across something similar to that, it actually means that you're in a bit of pain. I personally don't have any painkillers at the moment. Actually I do. So what you need to do is just take those, and then you should see you stop the shakes. If your shakes aren't overly rapid, it's probably because you've been running and you're a little tired, so you've just got to ease up slightly, possibly prone, catch your breath, and then you'll be good to go again. There's several ways you can have fun in this game. Go around with your friends, exploring, just having a good old time, running around, fighting zombies, fighting other players. It is multiplayer, so there's plenty of people, and you do have to be careful when you approach someone. A lot of them are quite evil and will be happy just to shoot you there and then, steal all your gear, and you've got to remember, you do die when you die, so be very careful. Another great thing to do is start a conga line, just a million zombies chasing after you and see how long you can survive for. Most of the time it isn't too much fun. It gets boring quickly and then you want to take them out. But if you're having trouble with that, don't worry, because everyone dies eventually. And it's about time that I think this little lady meets her maker as well. And there you go, out of bullets, and that's when you really are in trouble. You can either decide to make a run for it again, or you can make your last stand, get down, and just let them kill you. So you get knocked out fairly often when you're low on blood, and then they just eat you, and eventually you will die. So keep an eye out for that, and I hope you enjoyed the guide. If there's any questions, feel free to ask. Bye!